All right. Hi, my name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer, and right now I'm going to make an effort to convey to you in 5 minutes what I just made a 30-minute video about. And I plan to release both. See, let's see which one you appreciate the most or is the most beneficial for you. So here is what I said in 5 minutes. See, to me, I used to do radio and I had to answer questions right on the spot, and there's something to it, but it feels just superficial. So I like spending the time being present with you, walking with you in it, so that you are invested and that you get a context of what I'm talking about. And then I talk to you about these deeper things. And if I just tell you the deeper things, I feel like you're going to miss the buildup. And we have resistances, though, two of them. So sometimes it's hard for me to get to the place where I'm about to talk to you. And so it takes me a long time to warm up to that. So that could be something in me as well. But I feel like it's in all of us. So here's what I said in 5 minutes so that you can understand it. Now we only have 4 minutes left. Is what happens is if you grow up with a narcissist, your worth is dependent on their acceptance of you. They teach you that your worth is, if I say you have worth, then you have worth. And you have to do this, this, and this, and this, and perform in all these ways so that you give me worth, because their sense of worth is developed. They're based on ego performance, based on, exterior things like money or possessions or accolades or feeling a sense of accomplishment. They don't have a deep presence. So I talked in that last video about learning how to stay present and how presence changes everything. When you learn how to be in your authentic self and your soul self and know your real worth, that has nothing to do with other people's estimation of your worth. I found this on my desk during it. It's like they don't get the power to turn your light on or off of whether you deserve to be loved or not. You are always worth loving, and you can know this love deep in your being by learning how to be in your being self instead of your doing self, in your soul self instead of your egotism and present day personality self is another way to say it. And so as you learn how to awaken and appreciate and be in your deeper self, that I don't know if I said, yeah, I said my name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer, and I'm transitioning to be a life coach as well as psychologist so that I can reach people globally in different places, but that's just aside. Okay, and so when you're in your, that's me being more my authentic self, because I'm like, yes, let's get this to everybody. As you are in your authentic self, your soul self, then you're feeling, you're experiencing your identity isn't based on other people's estimation of you. It's not just people saying, oh, develop your self-worth, blah, blah, blah. I have my dog with me today. You're actually knowing your real self, because you're not buying into all these exterior thoughts and ideas and things coming at you, like social media telling you this is your worth, this is your worth, this is your worth, or I want this, this, and this. There's a lot of depth that we're skipping in this shorter version of this, so you can go to the longer version if you'd like. And so, but what happens is if we learn to get our identity and our worth from someone else, we can be really, really, really depressed when they aren't giving us that worth anymore, when they cut you off, because you're no longer feeding them as their ego supply or their narcissistic supply. They cut you off and throw you out, and then you feel completely rejected. And me as a child, I just heard about a child death from suicide, and so it's really affected me, and it got into some deep places in me and woke up some old wounds from childhood, because when you feel like you want to escape from that place of being wounded, you don't know where to go to get away from feeling so rejected as a child. It's not my fault that I felt like that. It's because I wasn't getting the intimacy and the closeness that I wanted, because they didn't have it to give. They didn't know how to have this deep presence and intimacy in themselves. They got their worth from ego and from performing or from shutting down and numbing themselves, or whatever our parents got their worth from. And so kids can think that the only way out of that is to be dead, and obviously it's not. We don't want people to think that, because it's not true. If you develop this presence and you see and you experience that there's so much more intimacy to be had, and that your worth has nothing to do with if someone else says, yes, you are worth, no, you're not. Yes, you're performing well, no, you're not. Yes, we have to be socially isolated right now, or we don't, you know. Your worth comes from a deeper place, even than that. They don't have control over this. But what happens, and another thing I was noticing, and it's already 5, so I'm going to wrap it up, is that you can get in other relationships with other people, and you're putting undue pressure on those other people, and you don't even realize you are, because you're used to getting your worth from someone else. And if they reject you, it's like, feels like the end of the world, and it's not the end of the world. It's nothing, because they don't know your real worth, and it doesn't matter. And so you don't need anything from them. Otherwise, it feels like there's pressure on that relationship to give you something that they can't give you anyway, because they might not even know their own worth, and it's not theirs to give you. You are already love, radiating, vibrating love. Anyway, all right, that's the end of 5 minutes. I wish you guys so much love. Let's see if this got conveyed, or listen to the long one. Much love.